We are all familiar with the horror trope of the haunted bloodline, an inescapable curse passing from parent to child like a dark inheritance. In the 2022 film The Inhabitant, this legend centers on a teenager named Tara. She grows up believing the women in her family are doomed to be possessed by the spirit of a 19th century witch named Liz. Tara's life is currently defined by escalating terror. She experiences vivid hallucinations, bouts of sleepwalking, and sudden intrusive thoughts about murdering her baby brother. This fear is rooted in a gruesome historical fact. Tara's Aunt Diane is currently locked in an asylum for the decapitation of her own infant, an act she claims was performed under the witch's influence. This setup poses a chilling analytical question. Is Tara the victim of a supernatural entity, or are we watching the onset of a severe genetic psychological condition? By trapping us within Tara's subjective perspective, the film makes the boundary between demonic possession and a psychiatric breakdown impossible to distinguish. The film initially validates Tara's supernatural fears. We see her visit a museum dedicated to Liz's history and participate in a seance that seems to confirm the witch's presence. The mystery deepens through a shared delusion. Both Tara and her institutionalized Aunt Diane report being tormented by the exact same figure in the white gown, describing her features with identical detail. However, a therapist introduces a grounded medical perspective: schizophrenia. This diagram breaks down clinical symptoms into three branches: severe hallucinations, extreme paranoia, and dissociative states. Every supernatural event fits perfectly. Visions are hallucinations, violent urges are paranoia, and blackouts are dissociative states. The primary obstacle to Tara's safety is her mother, Emily. She aggressively denies these medical facts, choosing to hide Tara's symptoms in secrecy rather than seeking professional psychiatric help. The immediate danger to Tara resides in a family dynamic that suppresses medical intervention to protect its reputation. The supernatural illusion shatters in the film's climax. Tara discovers her mother, Emily, wearing the vintage gown and wielding the woodcutter's axe. Emily confesses to a string of recent murders, including Tara's friend and her former employer, proving that the threat was always physical, not spiritual. She also reveals a decades-old secret. Emily murdered Aunt Diane's baby out of jealousy over an affair and framed the unconscious Diane by placing the axe in her hand. This model illustrates the psychological mechanism at work. Emily's untreated mental illness created a protective layer, the Liz persona, to envelop her core trauma and guilt. This partition served as a scapegoat, allowing Emily to commit atrocities while dissociating from the horrific reality of killing her family. The demon Liz was never a ghost. She was a violent manifestation of one woman's psychosis and a desperate tool used to hide a lifetime of crimes. The Inhabitant ultimately suggests that the true monster is the cycle of generational mental illness when it is buried behind superstition and denial. In the aftermath, Tara makes an empowering choice. She survives the ordeal and explicitly rejects the witch's curse narrative that defined her family for so long. She commits to active therapy and medication, choosing the clarity of modern science over the fatalism of a family myth. Yet the film ends with a chilling image: Tara's young brother, Caleb, sitting in the car and calmly conversing with an invisible Liz. This cliffhanger highlights a devastating biological reality. Because the curse is actually genetic schizophrenia, it is not restricted to the women of the family. The boys carry the same genetic markers. It is a harrowing realization. While ghosts can be disproven, outrunning the biological reality of your own DNA is a lifelong battle.